On page 351, chapter number 19, it gives you a list of some of the commonly used APIs on this platform. I will let you scan through the list. I just turned it on, Kyle. Probably you were typing in when I was turning it on. So page 351, go through the list. The one in the bold are the one that the author talks about in the chapter. That's why they're in bold. Okay, so you guys had a chance to look at the list. One of the commands it talks about in the list in the APIs is the QCMD command. The QCMD command, as discussed on page number 352, is an IBM supplied API that actually executes your CL commands. And QCMD is a multi-function program. When you sign on, QCMD executes the program specified in your user profile. And your initial program runs, and it takes you to your initial menu. So when you submit a job to batch, QCMD is usually the program that's at the top of your stack. So anytime you run a program, the operating system maintains a call stack. So it is right there. These functions will happen automatically, but if you want to explicitly see what goes behind the scene in the QCMD, you can type a command on the green screen called QCMD. So if I come down here and I type call QCMD, so it takes me to that screen where all the commands are kept. For example, if I type strpdm, I run the program development manager, okay? I do my task, whatever I want to do, and then I come back. Notice it keeps track of that this was the command I typed. Then I'm typing call SB22 proc 24. Okay, whatever happened, I hit F12. Okay, it keeps track of the following call happened, and then there was an error that was generated. Okay. Now let me see if I call program 23. Okay, something similar may happen. Come back F12, and it keeps so all of these little things, it keeps track of those behind the scene. I have work spool file. Oops, made a mistake in the command. So we go down here. Whatever I want to do, I do. And as I come back, it just keeps track of what happened on the command prompt. So that's why this command can be extremely helpful, and developers, when they sign in and they're running a session, whatever activities they do, they sometimes would go into the QCMD API and will run all their activities from there. That's how they can keep a sort of kind of a log, because it's not saved permanently, to see what's going on, what happened, and stuff like that. Okay. So that's QCMD. Then page 354, the full screen command entry display may be useful for programmers who want to see the history of the commands they have executed, but typical users usually don't need all the functionality the QCMD display offers. In fact, typical users may never need to see a command line. You can, however, easily include in your CL program the option to display windowed command line, like the one shown right here in figure 19.2. Okay, so in order for you to bring this particular command line, you can just type the command call QUSCM DLN. So it is Q user US command line CMDLN. And that will just bring a little prompt at the bottom. So it just displayed a windowed command line over the bottom of an existing display. This command line works the same way as any other command line, but it does not take up space on the display unless it is needed. It is easier to control the security of the command line by calling it explicitly instead of always having it on display. Okay, then page 355 talks about QCMD check. It checks syntax of a single CL command. Optionally, promotes for command. So IBM supplied this to perform the syntax checking for a single CL command, and optionally prompts for but does not execute the command. If you use QCMD check to prompt for a command, the API returns to your program the correct command string to execute the command you prompted. You can use QCMD check to prompt the user for a command and then store the command for later execution. So here you can see how you can call QCMD check, and then in the parameter, you can run a command. Okay. Then prompt with QCMD check. Well, it's referring to the older chapter number 18, which we'll not talk about, but it says that if you use QCMD check to invoke the CL prompter, the system checks the syntax of the entire prompted command. If there are no errors, then it returns a completed command to a calling program with the prompting characters removed and all the parameters filled in. So here in the CL program, you can simply make a call to QCMD check, and you can provide whatever you want to provide as a parameter to the command with the total length, because it takes two parameters, the command and the length of the characters. So after QCMD check has prompted for the display library command and the user has filled in the parameters, the completed command string is placed in the command string. Because of the question mark, it does that. Page number 356 shows you a little bit of a detailed example where we are forming a command string with the display library, and we have quite a few placeholders, and all those placeholders will be filled in, and they'll be running the command for you or not running the command for you. Page 356 also show you another command, another API called QCMD EXE. So QCMD EXE executes a single CL command. You can use this to run a command from any high-level language program or from within CL program. Your program can call QCMD exec program, passing it the command to execute as a program parameter. But a CL program already executes commands. Why would you want to do this? The answer is that the QCMD exec API lets you execute a command within a CL program when you don't know at the time of compile that which command you want to execute. So that's what basically it could be used for as an API. On page 358, it talks about some other APIs like ILE bindable API, for example. On page 359, the integrated language environment includes a set of API called the CEE, which is Common Execution Environment API. Unlike most other APIs, these bindable APIs are ILE procedures, not programs. Because if you notice, all the other APIs we have called with the help of a call command, but these APIs, which are bindable APIs, are not called with a call command, but they're called with call procedure command, because they're actually bindable APIs. So that's why on the page 359 towards the bottom, you can see that when we're calling the convert date to Lillian format API, it is a call procedure. And then you pass the respective parameters to it. It receives those parameters inside the body of the procedure, and then it gives you the output accordingly. So chapter number 9 in a gist is just talking about different APIs that you can use in this environment. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about that one before I go to our main chapter for today. And that is chapter number 14. Chapter number 14 starts page number 237. Page 237, it talks about retrieving and changing external attributes. In chapter number 13, which was a chapter before this one that we went over last week, you learned that if a calling program passes a variable as a parameter, any changes made to the variable is in the called program is reflected in the variable value in the calling program. So it's a pass by reference. Because the variable is already declared in the calling program, you do not need special coding in the calling program to change the variable's value. In some cases, a variable's value in the calling program may not be important until a called program places a value into the variable. For example, a program might need to call another program or execute a command to retrieve an external value, such as a date, and then continue processing. The example describes the concept of a return variable. So that's something that you have learned in other programming languages, that you call a function and it returns a value back to you. Or here, you're calling a command and it returns a value back to you. For example, I think we did an example maybe last week. Not this one. No. Here we go. Here is a good example of a command. Retrieve system value, which is, by the way, also listed on page 237. Retrieve system value is asking you what value you want to retrieve. It grabs that value and it returns that value into a local variable. So that's a return variable, sys model, which receives a value from Q model parameter. So here, the author gives you a long list of commands that can be used for this reason. So just go over this list. This list, which is on slide number 3. And maybe on slide 4. No, slide 3 only, not on slide 4. Welcome, Jonathan. A couple of announcements. We're done with chapter 19. We're working on chapter 14 right now. And then earlier today, we worked on a quiz. So you can take care of the quiz after class. Okay, Jonathan? And yeah, I hope everybody is okay. Okay, cool. Maybe that could be the reason that some other folks are not here as well. Okay, moving on to slide number 4. Retrieve job attributes. It retrieves the current job attributes, such as, here you can see that we can retrieve the date, the current user, the date, the job number, the job user, this job name, all of these attributes can be retrieved by using the retrieve job attributes command. You can provide the name of the keyword, and in the parameter, you can list the variable, and that variable will be the receiver of that value. And on page number 238, you can look at the details. Again, I will give you guys a few minutes to go over page 238 and 239 to read about the details of the retrieve job attributes command. Okay, now I'm moving on to the next command on page number 239, which is the change job command. It talks about that often you will use the retrieve job attributes command in conjunction with another CL command, change job. The change job command lets you change certain attributes of any job on the system. The change job command follows the following parameters. It needs a job, which includes the job number, the username, the job name, the library of the job queue name, job queue priority, output priority, the print text, and it has a long list of parameters that the change job command uses. Like the retrieve job attributes command, the change job command has many other parameters, but these are some of the most commonly used ones that are listed on page number 239. Because the change job command lets you change jobs other than your own, the first parameter job identifies the job to be changed. The default value is in asterisks, indicates that you want to change the current job. Otherwise, you need to specify the qualified name of the job that you want to change. And you can read up on the remaining parameters on page 240.
I'm sorry, Professor Saad. My internet crashed. What are we doing?
Oh, we are on page number 240, reading about the change job commands details. We are in chapter 14. I don't know when your internet
Yeah,
crashed.
no, yeah, I'm good on that one. So
Okay.
just read from
Oh,
the
just
whole
read
page of
page.
240.
Yeah, just, yeah. Then we have a very small topic called system values on page 241. These are a set of attributes common to the entire system. These attributes are called the system values and permit you to control and customize certain operating system functions. For example, the author talks about a system value Q hour. It contains the current hour of the day. It is stored on the system as a character field, 2 positions long. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the value is 08. Like that, there are many other system values. System values are not objects that can be created or deleted. IBM supplies them with operating system and assigns default values to them. Moving on to the next command, which is retrieve system values. Now, this is the command, retrieve system values. This is the one that we used in program 21 that we did, I think 2 weeks ago, where we were able to grab the model number and the serial number And then when we called it, it displays the model number and the serial number of the machine. So that's a retrieve system value command. Read about this command at the bottom of page 241. Okay, page 242 talks about the change system value command. So just like you can retrieve a system value, you can change a system value. Good idea to change a system value is before you do that, you retrieve the current value. Like you can see over here, we're retrieving the current value in a variable hour. And if the hour's value is 2, we are changing it to a 3 by using a change system value command. Now, change system value command on page 242, followed by categories of system values. One of the category is allocated storage. The other one is date time. Then we have editing category, library list, message logging, security, storage, and system control. These are several different categories of system values. The first one being date time system values. Again, this is more like a reading stuff for you guys because it's so self-explanatory. I want, as it's probably a little bit of reading on your part, so I would like you to read pages 243 through 247. Pages 243 through 247. Please let me know, like Tony informed me whenever you guys are done reading these 4 pages. Next on page 247, we will look at the retrieve user profile command. This command is generally used when we are retrieving any information about the user, provided the user's ID is given. So for example, if I type here, retrieve user profile, ITPA, let's say 399, and I hit enter, I'm sorry. Oh, why is it not allowing? Oh, because I use work with user profile command usually. Okay, yeah. So because this can only be used in a program. I forgot about that. Retrieve user profile can only be used within a program, but I generally use work user profile to work with a command. But retrieve user profile can be used within the program, and you can list any of these parameters, and you can supply with variables inside, and that will retrieve that value for you. For example, on page 248, you can see an example of retrieve user profile, where we are giving the user profile name as current, which whoever is the user profile, and that username we are returning in a variable called user, and then you can display that variable. Similarly, on page 249, it talks about date conversion using convert data command. So the convert data command converts a date from one format to another without changing its values. The format for the convert date is followed. You give the date to be converted in the first parameter, then you provide the variable name where the date is coming from, and then you put the from format, and then the variable the to format, date format, and then you basically provide whatever separators are there. And towards the bottom of page 249, you can just see some of the commonly used from formats like MDY, YMD, DMY, Julian. And then on page 250, you can see the 4-digit year formats. So towards the bottom of page 250, you can see that we are retrieving from the system value, the Q date into today. And now we want to convert that into another variable called MBR date. So our current format is system value, and we want to convert it to a Julian format, and there is no separator. And then we want to create a file member in file receipts, and the name of the member is cache, followed by the date. And that's how you can be creating members on the fly based on whatever you want to create the member with. Anyway, so let's go over the chapter summary on page 251. Then we'll take a break till 3:45. And when you're back at 3:45, we will start working on the hands-on activities. So maybe that's why I'm letting you guys go like 2-3 minutes before 3:30, so that you may come in maybe 2-3 minutes before 3:45 and log in to the V2 Cloud and open RDI and be ready to write the next set of programs. So let's meet back at 3:45. And as I told you before, that I want you to log in to the RDI and we'll be starting to write the programs. So let me share my screen here. So I am creating a new member, which will be my next program, which is SP22, program number 26, CLLE. So I'll be coding a program in which I will be receiving a parameter. I will receive a parameter from the prompt, and I will declare some variables. Last week, we started looking at monitoring message, but at the command level, we didn't use the global monitor message, which we will look at today. So global monitor message, and then also a command level monitor message, also a parameter. So we will try to put all of this together in this one example. So first of all, I'm creating a global monitor message. CPF 0000 can catch any and all kinds of errors. So I'm saying if any generalized error occur, I want to execute the command that you go to the error routine. I will tell you how to run this program. So I'm waiting for everybody to complete this program because we may have to first of all, create a library, a brand new library, and we will pass that library as a parameter into this program. And once the library gets passed as a parameter into this program, into the variable library, we will then add that library to our library list through add library list entry command. And then if anything goes wrong here, we will check to see if it is any one of the three errors. Then we will go to the error message, and then we will receive the error message, and we will display the error message on the prompt. Otherwise, if everything goes smoothly, then it will not report any message. So I still have three more people working on it. So as soon as everybody give me a green check that they're done and their program is also compiled. Aiden and Christian. Aiden is done. Okay, Christian is the only one still coding.
Yeah, I'm almost finished with mine.
Okay.
And we didn't have to change much, right? There were just a few lines we had to change.
I created this program from scratch. So
Okay.
I don't know about you.
So it looks like I actually I saved as from program 25, and they're pretty similar. So I guess that's what I
Okay,
was
as long
working on.
as you have compiled it and you're good to go.
I'm about to compile it after I finish up this last line. So
So once everybody is done compiling it, then I'll share with you how you can run it. Done, Christian?
Not yet. Okay, so I'm getting an error with mine. I'm just gonna walk through it again.
No, not yet.
Would it be okay if I shared my screen?
Okay. I am not telling you. No, I have to share my screen back. See, this is one of those mistakes you guys should not make when things are color coded. Is the line that you're typing color coded on my screen?
Yes.
Can you see the different colors? And how about you? What is the color of your mon message? Did you type it correctly? Is the spelling correct of the word mon message? Christian?
No.
I mean, I told you yesterday too. You know, if you were coding this in green screen, I understand, you know, it's quite possible because everything is green. Here it's color coded. That should be an indicator that why my keyword is not turning blue. I must have misspelled it. Why is my keyword is not green? My command should be blue, keyword should be green. Variables should be this very lime green color. So these indicators are there for a reason. System values are purple. If they don't change colors, something is wrong. You done now?
Yeah, there are two more errors that I didn't see before either.
Okay.
Fixing those right now. Okay, I fixed it. I'm gonna go run it now.
No, don't run it. We're just waiting. Everybody's waiting because I said when everybody is done, I'll show you how to run this program.
I'm finished now.
Okay. So now when you guys are done compiling it, you're on the green screen. In the green screen, we will create a library, CRTLIB. Let's call our library APR06 and our initials. CRTLIB is a create library command. And the name of the library I'm using is APR06 followed by initials. And the library should get created after that. Once the library is created, we will now call this program SP22 prog 26 followed by the parameter, which is the library I just created, April 06 initialize initials. Enter. Command goes through, no error shows in the command line. That means everything is good to go. Now, when I display my library list, you see I have April 06 initials added, and that was done with the help of the CL program. So this simple program, let me pass a name of a library to be added to my library list. And then when it adds it to the library list, I can check by typing display library, DSP LIB L, display library list, to make sure that that command gets added to my library list.
So we're creating a library list, right? And then we create the what's it called? Program inside of it.
Did you create the library?
The library is the date and then our initials, right?
Right. And then after the library is created, call the commit, call the program. Did you call the program?
All SP 22 Pro.
Here's the call program, as you can see on my screen. And Jordan also typed it in the chat. Call, name of the program, whatever is the program name that you just created, followed by the name of the library. And then once you are done calling the program, if it doesn't gives you any error in the program message, then Jordan typed the third command that you will type to check that you can see it in the library list.
Okay, so it didn't give me an error message, but when I display the library, it doesn't show anything in there.
Of course, when you get an error message, that means it didn't add it, right? Right, Christian?
Right.
Right. So if it gives you an error message, that means it didn't go through.
It didn't give me an error message.
It did not give you an error message.
It did
and
not.
Your library is also not there.
Yeah.
Okay. You can you share your screen? Okay, can you F9? Sorry, F3. F3 out of here, and then press F9. Okay, hold on
Oh,
a
wow.
second. No. Just press F9 once. Okay, hit enter. Okay, now press DSP-LIBL. Type DSP, hit control. Okay, DSP-LIBL, enter. Here you go, it is there. I think you typed something else. You typed a different command.
Okay, I thought that we were putting something into the library.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no, no. We are just adding library to the library list.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Mhm. So now that that command is done, that program is done. So we were able to write a program where we passed a parameter. So we reviewed that chapter. Then we also reviewed the chapter in which we declared a global message and we declared a command level message. And in the exception handling, we were able to forward that to the error in case if there is an error. And we looked at the receive message that will help you receive the message. So for example, when Christian ran his and the library was already in the library list, so line number 9 failed for Christian. As a result, line number 1000 became active, which forwarded the error to line 1400, which received the error message, and that error message was then displayed on the prompt. So that's why, Christian, you saw the error message at the bottom saying the following library already exists. So that was the work of line 1500. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now let's create a new program. So I'm creating a new member, not saving the existing one. Number 27.
This is gonna probably irritate you, but can you tell me what the abbreviation meaning is for CLEE is again?
Control language. I don't remember now. It's for after that. I don't remember. It's control language. I don't remember what LE was. Anyway, is that important?
No, not at all. I was just
No, okay.
curious if this
Yeah,
one was like more important than others.
yeah, let's concentrate on writing the program because we are way too behind, guys.
I've got errors I'm trying to debug, but we went so fast, I kind of don't know what went wrong when we went through it. I don't know really what we were doing, so I don't really know how to fix it.
Okay, where are you getting your first error? Can you tell me the line number?
Label error does not exist.
Okay, do you have this label error?
Yep. Last message, data message.
Let me quickly explain the code to you guys. What we're trying to do here is we are receiving two parameters into the program. Both parameters will be received in the format of month, date, and year as 06, 15, 22 for 2022. Once we receive the two date parameters, we are declaring them. And then we have some Julian date parameters, Julian date variables, to which we will be converting our date to so that we can perform calculations. Then towards the bottom, we have two variables to do the calculation, and then the calculation needs to be converted using number type. That's why we have these numbered data types towards the bottom. The from Julian 9 and to Julian 9 and numbered days. All these three are numbered data types for calculation purpose. So we're trying to figure out the difference of days between the two dates that the user provides. And then we will convert that into a character date, and then we will display that. Then we declared some variables for error handling. We have a global error handling. Then what we're doing is we're converting our date into Julian format. So we're saying this is our current date format, and this is the date format to which I want to convert to. And we convert both of the dates from the MDY format to the Julian format. Once we do that, we are assigning those Julian dates, which are in character format, to the number format Julian variables, which are with the number 9. Once we do that, we then perform the calculation. We subtract the from date from the to date, and we store the result in number days. And then we put the value from number days, which is in numeric format, to number days X, which is in character format. And then we display back to the user saying the number of days between the first date and the second date is these many days. If everything goes good, then line 3600 will be the last line that you will run. If anything goes wrong, okay, then you're saying that go to error, which is down below here, which will receive the error message and will display it to you. While displaying the error message, if anything goes wrong, then we will hand it over to the system. So that's what the program is supposed to do. Does that make sense to you, to everybody, what the program is supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'll show you how you can call the program. And let me write that in the comment section. Okay. So when you're done compiling it, so you call the program, and then after a space, you put the two parameters in a parentheses. The first parameter in MDY format, which is month, date, year, space, and then in the next single quotes, the second date, which is the month, year, and the month, date, and the year. And then it will tell you how many days or between the two. So I wanted to do an example where I could tap into our today's chapter of chapter 14, where we learn about convert date, and also include chapter number 12, where we did the exception handling, along with some of the earlier chapters, which includes calculations and display. That's what I was thinking to see, how much we can incorporate in one example.
Will you scroll up to where you declared the main programming using convert CVT?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me know when you want me to scroll down.
You can scroll down. I'm getting errors on lines that don't have any code on them.
Did you check the line above? Did you check the lines above to see
Yeah,
if
I'm
the
looking right
lines
now.
above are okay? Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm getting a character S not valid following string on line 40, and the line above it is exactly the same as yours. And then I'm getting a label error does not exist
Okay,
on
share
line
your
145. And
share your screen. Let's see what's going on. Line number 40. Do you have a space before the SND MSG? No, before. Okay. Can you compile now? Here you go. That was it. That's it. Oh, Cole needed me to scroll up. Okay, Cole. Here we go. Okay. So let me clear the feedback for everybody to give me the feedback, whoever is done and is also done calling the program and can see the output. So 4 people are done. 5, 6, 7. Okay, Aiden. Cole, let me know when you're done with the top piece and I'll scroll down. Okay, let me scroll down to the bottom portion. So instead of doing several examples, I tried to consolidate a lot of the concepts in one example. So we'll be able to not only refresh the previous chapters, but also incorporate our today's chapter in here. And I suppose this will be our last example for today. So for those of you who are caught up on the Blackboard, look at the assignment for this week. Okay, Aiden, can you share your screen? Oh, before the and, single quotes of and, you're missing another B cat. No parentheses, yes, asterisk. Okay. Okay. So then you can check the chat for how to run the program. Okay, how we doing, Cole and Christian?
So I just tried to compile and it says, I kind of just need to see the top of the program, if that's okay.
Okay, let me scroll up. Okay, here we go. Still having any errors, Christian?
Yeah, it says I have an error on line 1.
Okay, go ahead and share your screen, please.
Okay.
Were you okay? Oh, there's no space between the word parm and the parentheses. The word parm and parentheses are next to it. Yeah, like that. Okay. Try to compile it now, please. Okay, let's check the error log. Okay, down to, okay. It is 2SEP, right? Cool. And can you go to the last error? Okay. It is complaining. Oh, you're missing an asterisk before the BCAT. Okay. Okay, and put a closing parenthesis. Yep, allow. Let's compile that. Okay, go. Okay, now log into green screen. Okay, from the chat, I've shared with you how to call the program. There you go. Oh, no, 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 no. Can you go back to your source code? Hold on a second.
On line 126 is to date.
Oh, yeah, line 126, the first parameter is TO date, not from. The first one. Yeah. Yeah. Now hit F9 and enter. There you go. Cool. Awesome. Okay, guys, that'd be all for today then. We have one more chapter left that we'll be going over next week, which is chapter number 15. You have an assignment to work on. If you did not do the quiz, you need to work on that quiz. And anybody who is falling behind, make sure you are catching up because only 2 weeks are left to the end of the class. 1 week, and next week will be our last in-class meeting. That's when I will give you your final exam, which will be due week after next. So
Yeah.
I'll let you
Okay, have a
on.
good one.
you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You take care, guys.
Have a good night.
You. Thank you. See you tomorrow, Victor.
Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
So I had a quick question. Did I ever send you the accommodation plan that I have? I don't believe I ever did.
No, I don't think so. What?
I didn't think it would be necessary for this class, but I noticed that more recently I actually have been falling behind in classes because it takes me a bit longer to take information and then write it down. So
Oh, okay.
I can
Do
I can
you-
send
do
that
you-
information to
Do you
you.
take a snapshot of the code on the local computer?
Like, do I screenshot it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do, and then I write it from there if I
Oh,
can't
okay,
catch up.
okay,
So,
okay,
but yeah.
okay.
I will send that information to you. I don't know if it's like if I need it at all, because for quizzes and stuff, it's fine. 'Cause this class isn't difficult when it comes to quizzes and all that. It's kind of just me keeping up. Like I get it, I understand what's happening. I just have to, I just have to get it first. That makes
Okay,
sense. So,
okay,
all right, but I appreciate you understanding. Thank you.
no problem.
Have a good one.
Mhm.